welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Deborah Doern. Among the stories this week, the Fireman's Carnival taking the spotlight at Harbor Island.
Leaf removal and the environment. Another controversy brews at Harbor Island. And the latest on the softball lights.
Flint Park opens its summer series of Thursday evening concerts.
The sewer plant construction site. We'll have an update.
Our sales taxes could be going up soon. Those stories and more on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
First, more developments in the village of Mamaroneck on the leaf removal controversy and the lights for Lonza Field at Harbor Island. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Alice Bloom has the latest.
Thank you, Roger. Beth, tell me, has the village decided where to temporarily store leaves next fall?
Not definitely just as yet. As you know, that last year we spent over $80,000, budgeted $80,000, wound up spending $107,000, and had another $25,000 that should have been that we should have also paid towards the leaves. So we felt this year that we had to find something that was more economical, knowing that the town spent $42,000 for 6,000 square feet of cubic yards of leaves, and we had 8,000. And we also wanted to make sure they were going to be recycled. So we asked the engineering department to start looking at sites so that we could piggyback in a way on the town's contract with Earthgrow and get something like under $7 a cubic yard for uncompacted leaves. And the town agreed and Earthgrow agreed, and all we needed was what we call a staging area, a place where village crews could bring the leaves that are picked up from the residential and commercial areas and put them in a spot while they await being picked up by the Earthgrow trucks. And the engineering staff looked at many different sites, or a number of different sites, and for one reason or another, either the acreage wasn't quite large enough or it was inappropriate for trucks to get in and out in a safe manner. Their recommendation became the parking lot near the West Basin, part of a parking lot near the West Basin in Harbor Island, which is, as you know, an impervious surface. It's not on, ground or soil or anything like that. And luckily this time the village was smart enough to require an environmental assessment form be done.
So that is not final?
It's not final only because there has been some, the Coastal Zone Management, among others, has said that they would prefer us to find, if we could find another place. They understand the situation and the problem, but if there was something we could do. So we asked for a 30-day extension of the contract with Earthgrow, which gives us until July 15th. And meanwhile, Leslie Karen in particular has tried to find another site outside the village, and there is one in the Bronx. Whether or not we can get a bid package together and everything so that we can use that as the area where we bring the leaves directly or not, we will not know for another couple of days. So it's definite that we can use at least the staging area of Harbor Island if we wish to, but we haven't made the absolute decision in the sense that we still have one or two options if we get them in under the time.
Great. We'll be talking with you again next week to see how we progress.
Okay.
Thank you, Beth. On other matters, just to update Lonza Field, unconfirmed reports are that the village has still not received the necessary guarantees from Musco Lighting and that installation has not yet commenced. We're also now awaiting decision on a petition filed by a group called the Friends of Harbor Island to annul the village's decision to install the lights in the first place and to require further environmental review. The petition was submitted in State Supreme Court on June 28th. Back to you, Roger.
We would like to remind you that LMC-TV is planning a special roundtable discussion this coming Monday, July 9th. The subject will be the softball lights at Harbor Island. Watch this channel, Channel 36, Monday night, July 9th at 8 p.m. for a roundtable on the light controversy. Debbie?
It seems like ages now that Mamaroneck's Harbor Island Park has been a construction site with the building of the new sewage treatment plant. LMC News reporter Nancy St. Leifer visited the site to find out the latest poop on the project.
Can you give us an update on the progress of the sewage treatment plant?
We're approximately 3 months ahead of schedule, which is a nice point to be at this time. It usually doesn't happen. The progress is going, like I said, on schedule, and with the contractors that we have on the site, everything is going pretty smooth at this time.
Can you explain to us what this sewage treatment plant is going to do as compared to the old sewage treatment plant?
In layman's terms, instead of getting into the vernacular of engineering, basically it's a higher level of treatment, which means more removal of the floatable solids coming out of the plant.
Okay, so our sound supposedly won't be as polluted?
Well, it'll make an impact. Of course, it'll be a positive impact, but it's just only one source of, if you want to say, of use pollution. What comes out of the treatment after this, after the treatment of the process, is a better effluent, and that's what we're hoping to attain.
That sounds terrific. When are we scheduled to be completed with this project?
We have a completion date of March '93, but at this time, being with our CPM schedule, we're late, say October of '92 at this point. But the final completion date is March of '93.
The heat of summer can be a dangerous time for pets. We often take their health needs for granted. Rita Blockton, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News executive producer and sometimes reporter, visited Miller and Clark Animal Hospital in Rye Neck. She spoke with Dr. Jay Pinkney for some helpful hints on keeping your pets cool.
Well, I don't think it's a surprise. Everybody knows that dogs and cats do not handle heat very well. And of course, in the summertime, it's so much hotter and more humid. And the big problem is that neither dogs nor cats sweat. People exchange heat through their skin because they sweat. Dogs and cats don't do this. And about the only way they really can exchange heat and become cooler is by hyperventilating or breathing harder and panting. Water evaporates from their tongue and in their lungs, and this is how they keep their temperature down. But it's not a very efficient method, and therefore both dogs and cats are much more prone to heat stroke. Now, most people have heard about automobiles, and it's certainly true that you wouldn't want to keep your car or a closed car and have your dog in it for any period of time, nor a cat. There are a couple other things to consider. One is running. A lot of people run with their dogs now, and it's a great idea, and dogs, just like people, can build up a certain amount of stamina. However, they don't control the heat as well as people do, and these dogs that run fine in the spring and fall, especially long distances, do not do well on hot, humid days. So you have to take this into consideration. And if you're used to running a few miles with your dog and it's a bad day, you may make it. The dog may not. And I think you've just got to curtail to some degree the amount of running they do on those bad days.
Now, what about the fleas and ticks? How do we look for it? How do we check for it? And can we bring them to you to take them off?
Yeah, that's a pretty hot topic now because of Lyme disease. I guess I'm a pragmatist about fleas and ticks. If you're going to have pets and they're going to go outside, they're going to get exposed. The degree of exposure depends on where you live and how much running they do and who they pal around with, but they're going to get exposed. I really believe that the only thing that really is effective if you have a dog in a situation where they're going to see a lot of fleas and ticks are repellent sprays. A lot of them are off the market right now. They're being reformulated. The FDA pulled them off. But when they come back out again, if you're really talking about efficacy, that's probably the only thing that works. And if you have a dog in a high-risk area, you've got to spray them regularly.
The county sent notice requesting a hike in the sales tax from 5.75% to 7.5%. Mamaroneck Town Councilwoman Kathleen Tracy O'Flynn filled us in on the background on why the council voted for the increase.
The County Board of Legislators has sent to Albany, hoping for the approval of the passage of a proposed sales tax law. It's called the Westchester County Property Tax Stabilization and Relief Law. And what this essentially does is it would, if passed, increase the sales tax that would be charged in the villages and towns in the city of Rye and Peekskill 1.5%. The county would receive, of that 1.5% increase, which would bring it up to 7.25%, the county would receive 0.50%. The town, in this case, the town of Mamaroneck, would receive 0.75%, and the local school district would receive 0.25% of that tax increase. It hasn't been approved. The County Board of Legislators and the towns and villages who are for it have to convince their state legislators that the money is needed. And
did the town go on record in favor of this?
Yes, we did. It was a 3-2 vote in favor of it. And although I don't believe that this is the answer to solve the county's budget problems, it will provide some revenue for the town of Mamaroneck, and they're estimating $1.3 million, which would certainly help us, because we anticipate that in the next year, 1991 budget, that our state revenues are going to decrease by about 1/3. So we do have to look for additional revenue sources, as well as try to tighten our belts as well.
The David's Island controversy in New Rochelle has spread across Long Island Sound. The Port Washington Chamber of Commerce voted no to the $1 billion condo development. Port Washington is only 4 miles from David's Island, closer than some parts of New Rochelle, which are 6 miles away. The Chamber's main concern is the effect on the marine environment. New Rochelle and Westchester County's Chamber of Commerce have strongly supported the David's Island project. Debbie?
This past week, the featured performance at Flint Park, the Larchmont Pops Band. Perry Martin led this group of fine musicians. They're all local talent. Some are professionals from the American Federation of Musicians Local 38. The Larchmont Parks Department helps out by greasing the swings in Flint Park in order that the small fries can play without disturbing the others in the audience. The Larchmont Committee on the Arts organizes the concert series, and money is provided by the Village of Larchmont, so the area residents can enjoy an evening of listening for free. Mrs. Anita Judas normally runs the North House office of the Hommick Schools. Mrs. Judas was the coordinator of the Flint Park concert. Every Thursday in July, Flint Park will be the site of a concert, and you can find out who the featured performers are by watching Channel 35. Pack a picnic supper and enjoy a live concert in Flint Park. They'll begin at 7 p.m.
The windmill is still there, and it's got a new coat of paint and some Kelly green awnings. Nathan's of Mamaroneck on the Post Road, and has had its grand opening the past week. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News cameras were there.
What's your name?
My name is Jetsna.
Andrea. What do you think of Nathan's?
The customer service is really good and I love it. The food's delicious.
I think it has a really friendly atmosphere and I'm going to come here again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now. Grades a lot. What do you think of Nathan's Famous?
Oh, it's great. We had cheese fries, french fries, hot dogs, and it was all very good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm Halima Haji-Ahmed, reporting for LMC-TV News.
Mamaroneck's Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla Number 63 is having its annual christening of the fleet this July 4th at 11 a.m. This activity will take place in the West Basin at Harbor Island. Other functions will be free safety inspections for your boat, public education for boaters, and a New York State course for children under 16 who wish to use a boat.
Well, the age-old tradition of the Fireman's Carnival at Harbor Island Park is on every night.
Hall near the Mamaroneck train station. If you're interested in joining, these are the amenities.
We've been in business about 10 years now. We offer a variety of classes, from flex and tone classes to aerobics, cardiovascular work, to a new class that's really exciting in the field now, which is step aerobics. I know some companies are just hesitating on it, and I'm going full force with bringing it in. And it's a low-impact class that's real easy on the joints. People that find that they can't do aerobics, they can't do anything cardiovascular, the step is perfect for them. And it's a real exciting, just hearing it now in the field. Also offer yoga, motherhood classes, also a class called the Alexander Technique, which again is something that introduces you to try to relearn how you are a week. We offer, oh gosh, numbers, whatever numbers occupy from early morning till 7 in the morning until late at night, till 8:30 at night, in the afternoons, on weekends, maybe 40 classes or somewhat. What has worked real well for the studio is the fact that we're very flexible. It's not necessary to let us know when you're coming into classes. Main object of Fusion is to be very people-caring. We try to do the best we can to give you a personal training class within a group. Great. So that, I think, if anything, has kept a good reputation for me through the years.
We've had so much fun today with Fusion Fitness that I'm going to go sign right up.
And that's it for another edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. In case you missed part of this program, you can catch it again any weekday night at 5:45 and 9:40. You might want to check us out. You can come and watch what we do to put on this program every Thursday night around 7 o'clock. Drop by and take a look-see. We're in the Palmer Avenue unit of Mamaroneck High School. Thanks for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Deborah Doern. Watch us again next time on LMC-TV, Channel 36.